Hey hockey player, in this video I'm going to be running you through the benefits that you can receive from all the training tools found in the brand new Hockey Speed Kit. Now first and foremost, when it comes to programming, a tool is only ever as good as it is applied. For example, if I had a hammer, technically I could go home and eat dinner with that hammer because you've got two prongs on the very end of it and I could scoop food up with it and eat off of it. But does that mean that it would be the best use of a hammer? Absolutely not. That thing's meant for pounding nails and the prongs in the end are meant for taking the nails back out. Yet, you think that might be a silly example, but we see this all the time in the hockey strength and conditioning world where people overemphasize the value of a tool. Tools are absolutely fantastic to include in a program design, but it's just that. It needs to be included in the context of a complete program design, and it needs to be used for exactly what it should be used for. You don't want to over or under emphasize anything when it comes to an athlete as multidisciplinary as hockey players are. You guys need to be fast, conditioned, agile, strong, coordinated, balanced, you name it, you need it all. So we need to use the right tool at the right time, in the right place, in the right dose, if you're going to become the best hockey player you can possibly be. We're going to be talking about the Edgework Enhancer Ladder, the Explosive Speed Rings, and the Hockey Reaction Ball. Let's talk about the ladder first, because I know you're familiar with it. It's one of the most popular training tools in strength and conditioning today. The speed ladder is great for hockey players, and it has a lot of different tools and benefits that it provides you. And it's funny because in the hockey training industry, it's one of the tools that's both overused and underused. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it's overused by some coaches because they want to use it for absolutely everything when it comes to speed, conditioning, agility, you name it, they try to use it. But it's also underused by a lot of coaches as well, because once they get the speed ladder, they really kind of just do the side shuffles, maybe some high knees, and that's about it. But the speed ladder's got a lot more versatility to it than a lot of people give it credit for. First and foremost, it's a great tool to develop ankle stiffness and ankle stability. When it comes to first step quickness and that explosive starting speed that you're trying to get out of the gates, out in the ice, this is where the speed ladder really shines, because you're stuck in a certain position and it is a lot of your ankle stiffness that's allowing you to continually progress from one exercise to the next, one difficulty to the next, and ultimately getting your ankle a lot stronger so that you're much better on your inside and outside edges. And there's a lot more crossover here than a lot of people think in terms of overall skating power. Think about when you're out in the ice. When you're out in the ice and you're skating, you're never really going to be below this quarter squat position. You're going to be taking a stride, taking a stride, taking a stride from here. But what's the exact position that I'm going to be in when I'm using a speed ladder? Right here. I'm going to be doing all of my drills right in this exact position. So if I'm doing lateral power movements, I've got my joints in the same angle as I would be out in the ice. I've got my muscle recruitment the same way it's going to be out in the ice. It's going to be the exact same thing. This is really great for hockey training specificity. But you've got your feet down doing quick feet movements to build that ankle stiffness you need for explosive starting speed and first step quickness. But another great benefit of the speed ladder is eyes are up top. So your footwork is doing all the right things it should be doing, just like you'd be expected to out in the ice, but your head is up, your eyes are forward, just like you would be expected to out in the ice. Your eyes have got to be where the action is. And I want you to think about that when it comes to the speed ladder as well. The speed ladder can be used for speed, it can be used for agility, and it can be used for conditioning. If you want to use it for speed and agility, the rest periods will be a little bit longer. If you want to use it for conditioning, the rest periods will be a little bit short. But don't limit yourself when it comes to the speed ladder either, because you can use combination drills to get more out of it. If I'm doing a speed ladder drill, I could add a reactive component by throwing a ball at my partner, and they would have to catch it while still continually doing the speed ladder drill, really mimicking first step quickness while still being distracted out in the ice but maintaining your technical form. Or if I wanted to increase the benefit of the movement and move from first step quickness to acceleration to top speed, I could have an athlete perform an Icky Shuffle, which is a great speed ladder variant, into a 10-yard sprint. So don't be limited to what you're going to do with the speed ladder. It has exercise variants that can cover a lot of different aspects of hockey performance. It's one of the best possible tools that you can use to increase your agility, speed, and conditioning, but only when used properly. Which brings me to the next piece of equipment, which is the explosive speed rings. Now, the explosive speed rings, this is one of my favorite tool options for sure, because it's multi-dimensional. You can use it in different ways. And what do I mean by that? Well, we can set it on the ground to create what looks kind of like a honeycomb, and you can do a 7-dot drill with it. I know you may be familiar with the 5-dot drill. We've incorporated it a lot here at hockeytraining.com. But now that we got the speed kits available to us, we've got more versatility, which brings in the 7-dot drill. I love this because you're going to get a lot of the ankle stiffness and stability benefits exactly like a ladder would. You're going to be in the stance like you would be out in the ice, just like the ladder would. But this is smaller, it's in a more confined space, and I really like the benefits you can get from your inside and outside edges. For example, if I'm doing a single leg 6-dot, so I'm just going all the way around the honeycomb and not touching the center spot, I could go all the way around to the right and I'd be working the outside of my ankle. But if I stay on that leg and then go back around the other way, well, now I'm working the inside of my ankle. So I'm strengthening what? All the muscles responsible for being strong on your inside and outside edges. Ankle mobility isn't the end of the game. A lot of people think that when it comes to being an elite skater, when it comes to maximize your technical prowess in skating or maximizing just your speed out in the ice, they think mobility is the only game. Although it's part of the game, it's certainly not the entire game. You need to be mobile and stable in your ankles if you really want to maximize your all-round skating out in the ice. So I'm a huge fan of the 7-dot drill for those different reasons. Not to mention, if you can add a rotational and deceleration component to this as well, because you can do 7-dot drills with 180-degree turnaround jumps. You can do 7-dot drills single leg with jumps. You can add in a lot of different variations. And how would we vary this to get speed, agility, or conditioning? Very similar to what we would do with the ladder. If we want conditioning, we're going to shorten the rest periods. If we want speed or agility, we're going to increase the rest periods. Not to mention, with the 5-dot drill, the 6-dot drill, or the 7-dot drill, no matter what you're doing, you can do sets based on time, which is great. Because if I want you to get a speed or agility benefit from it, I'm going to shorten that time and have you do 10, 15, 20 seconds all out. But if I want you to do conditioning, then maybe we're going to do 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds all out. Very, very, very versatile tool that becomes even more versatile once you realize you can pick up that honeycomb off the ground and turn it into different hurdles. With the explosive speed rings found in the Hockey Speed Kit, you will get 3 hurdles out of the deal as well. Hurdles are obviously great for things I've talked about many times in the past. Vertical power production is excellent for first step quickness and acceleration out in the ice. Horizontal power production is excellent for deceleration and top speed out in the ice. And lateral power production is excellent for stride length and stride frequency. This means we're covering stride length, stride frequency, starting speed, acceleration, top speed, and agility, all with these primary power highways, which the hurdles allow you to train the best. Why? Because you're physically jumping over something that has an objective measure. No longer are you just kind of broad jumping the way you feel, or single leg broad jumping the way you feel, or doing a lateral hop or 180-degree squat jump the way you feel. No, those days are gone, because you know it as well as I know it, that when you're really tired, your jump might not be as great, or it may not be as long, it may not be as powerful. But when you have an objective hurdle to come over, it takes training to the next level. Not only does it take your training intensity to the next level, but it takes your training objectivity to the next level. So we're training the power highways in a way that we know you're going to introduce progressive overload week after week after week after week, where even the advanced, experienced, high-level hockey player is still going to continue to make progress each and every single week, every single time they train, especially when you're switching it up. So this tool it is a no-brainer for me because of all the things you can train with it, but also the versatility between creating dot drill variations and creating hurdle variations of all of those different exercise ideas that you can include in speed, agility, and conditioning. Last but not least, we have the hockey reaction ball. Reaction time is something that's critical to improve for hockey performance. But when I'm doing Instagram lives, when I'm doing Q&As, when I'm doing a lot of these things, people ask, hey, Coach Garner, how can I improve my reflexes out in the ice? You actually don't want to improve your reflexes. Why? Because they're not trainable. A reflex is something that's natural and automatic. For example, if there's a hot stove beside me and I don't actually know it's hot and I want to lean on it, my hand is going to instantly reflex off that hot stove before I've actually internally processed what's happened there. It comes right off. That's a reflex. That's a safety mechanism our body has in place to ensure survival of the organism. Reaction time, on the other hand, is when you consciously make a decision based off of visual chunking, based off of pattern recognition, based off of your speed of decision making. And how important is speed of decision making out in the ice? It is absolutely critical. You need to be able to react to something at a highest speed possible, to where if I see something coming, if I see the puck coming, I have instant offensive and defensive awareness, boosting my IQ up so I can react in the best way possible to become the best hockey player possible. And just like a bicep's gonna get bigger if you do curls, if you train reaction time, you're gonna be able to improve this over time. And the reaction ball, it's another one that people I think underutilize a little bit simply due to a lack of creativity. What will they do? The reaction ball wall toss. Is that an awesome drill? For sure, it's a great drill, but it's certainly not the only drill. You can get lots of partner drills in there. You can do a reaction ball toss off of an angled implement on the ground. You can do grounders at the ball to have it come back up at you. You can do a straight arm reaction ball drop where it drops and ends up going in random directions. There are so many different variations to where with the reaction ball, you're making the connection between mind and body, but based on how many sets, reps, and what your rest period allocation is, we can train reactive speed, we can train reactive agility, we can train reactive conditioning. We can keep all of these separate components separate, but still use the right tool in the way it should be used for the right job, for the purpose of that given workout. Those reaction balls, there's so much beauty in its simplicity. It's a ball that's not round, but that not round ball gets you explosive in every direction and creates the mind-body connection that you need as an elite hockey player to improve your reaction time out in the ice. Just talk to any NHL hockey player or any high-level hockey player, and they'll tell you how much of the game is mental rather than physical. Even the great Wayne Gretzky, he said, I'm going to be where the puck is going to be and not where it is. A lot of this has to do with pattern recognition and having lightning reaction time. Train that by using the reaction ball. All right? Awesome tools. We've got the edge work enhancer ladder, we have the explosive speed rings, and we have the hockey reaction ball. Lots of variation to use for years and years and years and years to get high level results for high level hockey players.